Hey everyone, this podcast is part of Story Mode, the podcast network of Gamefully Unemployed. You can support us and gain access to other great exclusive podcasts like Tom and Jeff Watch Batman by heading over to patreon.com/gamefullyunemployed. That's patreon.com/GAMEFULLY unemployed, which is spelled like it sounds.
Hypecast mit Tom Reimann und David Bell.
Hello everyone!
Hi.
Welcome to another episode of Hypecast!
Hypecast.
The show where we get hyped about stuff and or things. I'm your co-host, Tom Ryman.
I am your other co-host, David Bell.
And now third person go.
And now third. Well, we act. Okay, hold on.
Yeah, we act like every time we do
act
this.
like we act like it's Dan's fault. He doesn't know to introduce himself. But most podcasts introduce their guests.
Well,
Tom.
it's a bit now.
Yeah.
I
Dan.
know, and I'm familiar with a bit, but I still have a huge problem speaking until I've been introduced. It's not like it's truly not like a class thing or anything like that. I'm just like, I'm gonna sit quietly and patiently and wait until it's my turn.
You're like a podcast vampire. You can't speak until you're invited to.
That's right. I'm exactly a podcast vampire.
Yes.
But yes, hello. I am Daniel O'Brien. I'm very happy to be the guest on Hypecast in this episode. I'm a big fan of Tom and David.
Oh, thank you.
We
Thanks,
used to
Dan.
work together, and
We
now
did.
True.
And now podcasts are the only ways that we talk to each other anymore.
Yeah. Yes, the only time we interact with anyone is to produce content.
I haven't heard. I don't know how long it's been since I've heard a voice coming out of a mouth that was in front of me.
Oh God.
Yeah.
It's been like 8 or 9 weeks, probably.
Yeah.
I
So
think
I
just
don't-
just as a pro tip, when that does happen and someone speaks to you, don't say, "Oh, it's so nice to hear a voice coming out of a mouth in front of me." Maybe
Yeah, that's true.
Come up with an alternate phrasing.
It's
when
going to
it
be
happens.
hard. It's going to be hard not to be a complete weirdo the moment I see somebody, like a friend, that I'm allowed to like hug or interact with.
Right.
There's no way that's going to be dignified.
Mm-hmm. No, well, if it's any consolation, it's going to be a goblin, so it's just going to be like a whole bunch of goblins got released at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So we'll just all be goblins, weirdly, I don't know, kissing each other in the eyeballs and slapping people in their chins. Like we completely forgot how to interact as humans.
Yeah. Right. I think the social safety agreement has been, let's just cancel the summer because we don't want to spread the pandemic anymore. But then once it is safe to go outside again and we all see each other, it's like, oh, let's just cancel the rest of the year. Like,
Yeah.
it's totally safe to be outside now, but like let's just burn this year. Let's just like put it off the books.
Yeah, this year's a write-off.
Yeah. We could just do. Oh, sorry.
No,
Tom, it
you were-
sounded
you-
like
no,
you were
no.
going to get into the podcast. I
No,
was
no,
going
no,
to just keep talking.
No, it sounded like you were about to do a delightful bit, so I don't want to
I
deprive.
was just going to say, have we ever done a year again? Can we just do a year again? Is that possible? Because 2020 is such a cool sounding year. I think people had a lot of high hopes for 2020 as a year, and so I don't know. 2021, I guess that's like the C-Lab year, right? So
Yeah.
that's cool too.
I feel like we did 1997 twice. Am I remembering that wrong?
That feels.
We might
Yeah.
Did we kill 2 Princess Dianas?
It feels like it. It feels
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
she died for a real long time.
They made a meal of it.
They really did, yeah. They really milked that thing. To be honest, we needed 2 1997s in order to, withstand the release of The Saint.
Oh my God.
It's a good year.
Yeah,
Good year for movies.
I
yeah.
thought, because I do a podcast with our mutual friend Soren, and I thought finally I could be on a podcast where the Saint doesn't come up, and yet here we are. It's his favorite movie. It's inescapable.
I could bring up a different film if you like. It was also The Lost World Jurassic Park.
Okay, I'll take that.
The Fifth Element.
Love The Fifth Element.
Yeah, those were both that year. That was that year.
It's a good year.
Yeah. It was so good we did it twice.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, I think that's sufficient.
Yeah. So
I just looked up. Sorry.
Go ahead.
Oh, okay. I'm going to delay this more. I just realized also we got Men in Black and Titanic that year, and Austin Powers.
Austin Powers, yeah.
That's a good year.
It's a strong year, yeah.
Yeah.
I was just talking about the Austin Powers trilogy with my friends today.
Pro or against?
Pro. I think the third one, Goldmember, suffers a lot. I thought the second one was great. The first one was fun. But the second one still makes me laugh to this day. There's a beat in the beginning when we find out Elizabeth Hurley's character was a fembot, and Austin is talking to Basil Exposition, and he's like, Elizabeth Hurley was a fembot, and Basil's like, yes, we knew the whole time, I'm afraid. And then they just move on, and they never address it again. And it's one of my favorite things any comedy movie has ever done.
Yeah, those movies are solid. Or at least the first one's definitely solid. I do remember enjoying the second one. And then there's, moments of the third one that are really strong. They really suffer from the,
the joke repetition.
I feel like we're talking about this recently. It's also that it was just at the time, we couldn't get away from it. So it was really easy to get sick of Austin Powers, to get that Borat effect.
Right.
Whereas now looking back, it's quite
extremely
quaint.
Borat. Yeah, you hit the nail on the head.
I've also never seen the public writ large be more on the same page about politely ignoring a star's performance than they are with Beyonce in Goldmember. That is just not part of her biography. We all just we look at each other, no one says a word, but it's we don't talk about Foxy Cleopatra, right? We just don't say it. She was born a star. She was always a star. She'll die a star. This thing never happened. But, she was pretty bad in a pretty bad movie.
Right. I'm afraid we're going to have to censor this whole part.
I know.
Because we can't,
because we can't talk about it. Yeah. No.
Yeah. We should probably talk about our producers.
We should get into the producers, though. Yeah. This podcast has producers.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
And we want to give a shout out to them. And we have two new ones this week that I have I'm taking this. First one is Law Donger PI. So
sure.
Gonna be enjoying that one for a while. Thank you, Law Donger, the private investigator, I assume. Also Andrew, quote Andrew Howe, unquote Howe, in a real Macaulay Culkin tradition.
Mm-hmm.
We have Andrew. We also have Asking Seven. Thank you, Asking. Also Vincent, who we decided was a vampire, I'm pretty sure.
The Y gives it away, yeah.
Yeah, the Y is the... Yeah.
You don't spell your name that way unless you're drinking blood.
Yeah, for people who can't see the words in front of us, it's Vincent with a Y, where the Y is actually upside down on top of the E like a hat. That's how Vincent is spelled.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Telltale vampire sign.
Yeah.
They like putting hats on their vowels.
Also thanks to Reverend MD.
Yeah.
Reverend Doctor. And finally, also probably a vampire is... not finally. Why did I say finally? I think that means I'm done saying these because I'm tired.
Yeah.
Dracula the bus-driving vampire.
Woohoo!
Thank you.
All right. I'm going to pick this up. Thank you to HP Loveshaft.
HP?
Thanks to John Muniz. Thank you to Captain Toenail. Thanks to
Captain.
Wavy Rancheros. And thank you to Dr. Kitty MD.
Yeah, Kitty
And
Doctor.
Of
Hey,
course.
nothing else going on. Can I jump in?
Yeah, please
Sure,
do. Yeah.
Sure, I don't see why not.
Thank you so much to Mr. DNA and
Mr.
Lauren Cucci and Boutier Bootleson.
Bootler Bootlesson. But I like Boutier.
Oh, okay.
Boutier.
My eyes are failing me. Thanks to Grumblebee and thanks to Tux.
Oh yeah, good old Tux. I'll finish this off with Welsowski. Thank you, Welsowski. Thank you to Shepard Mulch Diggums. And finally, Norm from Cheers.
Thank you to Norm from Cheers.
Yeah.
All right. Let's get into the trailers now that we've been talking for like an hour.
Yeah, it's
an
a
hour.
couple
Right?
hours.
Okay.
Okay, so I've got maybe 90 seconds on Shepard Mulch Dickums if you want it.
Oh yeah. Let's. I mean, if you want.
If your name is Shepard Diggums, you don't need a nickname. I don't need a mulch in quotes in between. Diggums rules. Diggs is great. Shep is cool. Shepard's pretty nice. The Good Shepherd. We all remember that movie that was too long that nobody saw, but hey, Joe Pesci.
Yeah, that was Joe Pesci was back for. It was like coming out of retirement.
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
I believe. Did Robert De Niro direct that?
Yes.
Do I have that right?
He did
Yeah.
indeed.
A stellar cast. One of the probably greatest misuses of a cast in modern film history, I think.
Yeah.
Anyway, you don't need a nickname, Shep.
Right. Well,
There's
it
so
should
many
be noted
good
that I believe
options right
that's the
there.
character from Artemis Fowl, right? Do I have that right?
Yes, it's Josh Gad's character in Artemis
Right.
Fowl.
So take everything you have to say, give it to Josh Gad.
Fine.
I swore I'd never speak to him again, but I guess now I gotta.
We okay. So the Tenet trailer came out like an hour before.
Mm-hmm.
It premiered on Fortnite.
Yep.
And then YouTube like 30 seconds after it premiered on Fortnite.
Mm-hmm.
And it gives very little information about what this movie is about. What did you guys think?
Well, it gives a little bit more. Like it lets us know that it's the gimmick is called inversion, and it's John David Washington has the ability to experience time in reverse. Or at least this organization gives him the ability to do so. And they're trying to use this ability to stop Kenneth Branagh. Is that Kenneth Branagh?
Yes.
Yeah.
To stop Kenneth Branagh.
Are they there to I couldn't. He did seem like a bad guy.
He's definitely the bad guy.
We now from this trailer can kind of tell why he's wearing that face mask, because there's a lot of shots of the public like seemingly knocked out. And I'm wondering if it has nothing to do with time travel and everything to do with the terrorist, whatever the terrorist plot is.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah, that it has something to do with the air. I also on the show had talked about how I like from looking at the behind the scenes was like, oh, I know what the gimmick is. And now that this trailer came out, I can call it what the big like practical effect I think Christopher Nolan's going to do is that if you watch behind the scenes, as you said, Tom, it's people experiencing time backwards. And I think he's going to do if you remember that Spike Jonze music video for Drop, where everybody's performing backwards.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's doing that. I think he got a bunch of actors and extras and like people who are trained in this to perform scenes walking backwards and doing stuff backwards, except for a few other people. And then he reversed it all or like did things like that. Like, I think there's going to be a lot of tricks of like practical tricks on like, I'm pretty sure there's cars that are designed to look like they're driving backwards. They're actually driving forward. And I think he's going to just do a lot of shit when it comes to like performing things to look backwards and then reversing them. That's my prediction.
Sure.
Of what's going to be like really cool about this.
I mean, yeah, that sounds like extremely Christopher Nolan shit doing something like that.
Yeah.
I got big Inception trailer vibes from this and the previous Tenet trailer. It's just like, this is a thing that is designed to cause intrigue and a little bit of confusion. And like, you're already in the door because it's Christopher Nolan, so you don't even need a trailer to convince you to go see it. But similarly to Inception, I feel like I'm going to get let down when I see this movie.
Interesting.
I don't love Nolan personally.
Yeah.
I love Prestige very much. I rewatch that movie every year.
Same, yeah.
I enjoy it so much.
Love the Prestige.
I thought Batman Begins was really strong, especially for when it came out and what the state of superhero movies was at the time. I thought Dark Knight was very enjoyable, but when I rewatch it, I mostly just watch the Joker parts. And the third Batman, whatever it was called, I don't care for. Interstellar, I didn't really like. I loved Dunkirk, but
Dunkirk was great, yeah.
But Dunkirk felt like the least Nolan movie of all the Nolan movies.
What was your thoughts on we just watched for Insomnia?
Oh, I couldn't even tell you. It's been so long since I've seen that movie. I think that movie must have come out 2001 or 2002.
2002.
2002, yeah. So that was a movie. I was working at the movie theater when it came out and watched it at 16 years old during my half-hour breaks at the movie theater across days. So not only have I not seen it in a very long time, the only time I've seen it was in very small disjointed chunks, so I can't really speak to it.
Right, so
okay.
you watched the movie like a Christopher Nolan movie.
I did, yeah. I watched it as he intended me to watch it.
Right.
Yeah. Wait, Dan, you were working in a movie theater around the early 2000s. Can I ask you a question as someone who also did that?
Yeah,
what are your thoughts
about that movie Big Trouble?
No, but I do remember that movie Big Trouble happening. I was going to ask what your thoughts are on the end of the first Spider-Man and how many times you've watched it.
How many times I've watched the end of the first Spider-Man?
That was my my biggest memory working at a Cinemark in the early 2000s was having to close, and Spider-Man would last longer than any other movie. So I would just sit and watch the ending to Spider-Man every night. And so I've seen the ending to Spider-Man maybe 60 times, 70 times.
Oh, no, I don't have that.
You don't have one of those?
I don't have that same relationship. No, because I was so I worked at the movie theater when I was 15 and 16 years old. So they don't let us close because we're too young to do those night shifts. So I never got to close with Spider-Man, unfortunately.
Who on earth told you were too young to close it? I was driving delivery at 1 a.m. when I was 16. What the fuck?
Well, going back to Tenet, I mean, I get what you're saying, Dan, is that... yeah, that's true. Well, I was going to say that I think it sounds like you like his movies that are less high concept, more like just like a movie about a thing. I'm wondering if you'd like Insomnia more, seeing it now, because that is just sort of like a movie about a murderer being hunted by Al Pacino.
I bet I would, and I'm definitely going to see this movie, but I can see all the ways that Nolan sucks me in. He gets great actors. I love John David Washington so much, and I really like Robert Pattinson a whole lot. And Kenneth Branagh obviously fucking rules. And there's presumably a woman in this movie as well. And I'm going to see it because the strength of the actors that have been put together for it. And he always inserts a bunch of interesting ideas. But I don't rewatch Inception. It's not an enjoyable movie. I don't rewatch Interstellar. I watched those movies and I was like, oh, okay. This was weird. This was long. Right. This was I can see the ambition. I know that Christopher Nolan wants me to see how much work he put into it, and mission accomplished. I just don't know that it's an enjoyable movie. Is that too negative? Is that too damning?
No, not for Hypecast. I have a different opinion, but I always with Nolan is it's like any filmmaker that has a very distinct style, like your Wes Andersons and your Tarantinos and stuff, where it's when someone's it's not for me, there's you can't really argue with that because it's a strong flavor. And Nolan, I think, gets a lot of shit, and I think trailers like This Is Why I was actually kind of irritated by this trailer because I think it's after just all the J.J. Abrams mystery box stuff and just mystery and the Westworld and that whole style of mystery box that I see a trailer like this and I'm like, okay, just tell me what it's about. And it's nobody's fault. It's just how things have been done more lately. So like when I remember the Inception trailer, I was like, that's awesome. I don't know what the hell's going on. And this one, I'm just like, just tell me. Like, you don't give it all away, but like, I just want to know what your movie's about.
Right.
If I have to risk my life in July to go see it, I'm gonna really need to know what it's about.
Oh, there was very conspicuously not a release date on this trailer.
Oh, but
Yeah.
that was one of the most interesting things about the trailer that I hadn't anticipated, is that it ends in like a very telling and ominous coming to theaters. Like that title card was like, that's not how we advertise movies. That's not how we have advertised movies in the past, because obviously we have release dates, and it's certainly not how we're advertising things now. Everything sort of seems like coming to Netflix or video on demand streaming as soon as possible. And this is just like, we're planting a flag. This movie is going to be in fucking theaters. We don't know when, but it's going to be in them.
But it's going to be there. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's... I definitely share, like, Nolan's one of those guys who's like, movies should be watched in theaters and shot on, IMAX and enjoyed on the big screen. It's like, I get it.
Yeah.
But, like, if we're talking about a pandemic, my priorities are different. So, like, he better not become a real jerk about this, and just, like, wait until theaters, because it's also going to be one of those things where if they do it too soon, like, theaters might be like, we don't even want to do this because, like, nobody's around yet, or like half the country. So yeah, I appreciate them not, like, at least saying when, but yeah, you're.
I don't mind. I can wait. Like, I would prefer to see this movie in a theater, so I can wait until whenever that is.
Certainly.
Yeah. I hope it's the first movie I see in theater. It's kind of, for me, the perfect, like, theaters are open movie, because Nolan really is like his movies are so like big and dumb and like high concept sci-fi, and it's always very loud and dramatic.
Fucking
and it's
IMAX.
like, this is it's kind of the perfect movie for getting back into theaters.
Yeah, I liked Inception when I saw it because I saw it in a theater. I don't think I would have liked it. I wouldn't have had like a brief 4-hour period where I was like, man, that was good, and I understood it, and I'm smart, if I had watched it on HBO at home or something like that.
Right.
My other issues with Nolan, real quick, because I know that we have a lot of things to get hyped about. Briefly mentioned in passing, his relationship to female characters in all of his movies is just appallingly blank. Just like Lowe just has never written an interesting female character. I think the closest might have been, I kind of want to say Anne Hathaway in Dark Knight Rises, but I think that's more because she was having fun with it rather than like it being a well-written part.
Yeah.
And my other issue is that, like, I'm trying to think of a single realistic human relationship among any two characters in any Nolan film ever, and I can't find it.
He's a robot. He
I don't
doesn't
know.
he doesn't
how
know what
people
humans
are.
do.
Yeah.
No.
I don't know. I've had a secret twin for years, so that really that really spoke to me.
Right.
But yeah.
But I mean,
Yeah.
like, that's the perfect summation of the two issues that I pointed out. This idea that in The Prestige, there are two women who are so underwritten that they can't tell that they're sometimes dating their boyfriend or husband's twin.
Right.
Like, that's fucking insane.
Yeah, well, I Nolan and characters, he's got that thing. I think he definitely wants to, or is at least very inspired by Kubrick, I feel like. And Kubrick had the same thing where, like, his characters were probably his least strong aspect to Kubrick. He was better than Nolan. But it's this like they feel like weird robots to me, who are like really into like really cool shots and telling a cool story, but yeah, don't seem to understand people very well.
Yeah.
And yeah, there's definitely that aspect with Nolan. We were talking about Insomnia with this as well, where it doesn't feel like, it feels like the acting's as good as who he decides to be in the movies. Like he picks actors who he knows are good, so he doesn't have to like deal with that. At least that's my guess.
Yeah.
So like when you get someone like Al Pacino who's in Insomnia and he's not given that much of a shit, like Nolan's not going to push an amazing performance out of him.
Right.
Yeah. All right. Any other Tenet thoughts? Because I know Tenet's the talk
That's
talk
the
of the
biggie.
town.
No, I got nothing else.
All right. Let's move on. Let's move on to the next trailer, which is The Old Guard,
Yeah.
which is about
Hell yeah.
an elderly museum guard.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yep. Yep. Just quietly dying in front of the dinosaur bones.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like
Yeah,
Night
it's-
at the Museum, except nothing comes to life, and he just sits there by himself and gets old and dies.
Right. It's Stan Lee's character from Winter Soldier.
Yeah. What?
No, this is a Netflix
What
action
is-
film starring Charlize Theron. It's based on a graphic novel. It's about a team of immortal superhumans that have been secretly defending the planet for centuries, and now Chiwetel Ejiofor is after them to
Hell yeah.
steal their powers.
Hell fucking yeah.
Yeah,
Is this? Do you guys think? Because this is going to be a hit because it's a Netflix film.
right.
Is this going to be? You think it's going to be good? Like I think it looks great.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's going to be good. But
I think it's going to
I'm
be.
gonna
I think
enjoy
it's
it.
going to be really cheesy and a lot of fun. She has a battle axe.
I think it's going to be so much fun. I also
Yeah.
I like that the description for any Charlize Theron movie could include the phrase Charlize Theron plays an ageless and unkillable anything. Because
Yeah, pretty
Yeah.
much.
it's like it happens that she's superpowered in this, but you could have just as easily said Charlize Theron is ageless and unkillable as Tina, Guy's first girlfriend who leaves him for the dentist in That Thing You Do.
That's right.
She has always been this like perfect, beautiful, timeless goddess.
She is plays ageless and unkillable primatologist in Mighty Joe Young.
Yeah, this looks pretty sweet.
Yeah,
it reminded me that I think we owe Charlize Theron. We owe her another go at Aeon Flux, in my opinion, because that movie was trash.
Yeah.
But she could play that role. She could play the shit out of that role. And we there's still time. We can do it,
I think
but
broadly,
we're not gonna.
I feel like broadly we don't talk enough about how great Charlize Theron is. I don't know who I'm supposed to talk to about that. Because like no one says anything bad about her, but I feel like she's just not in enough conversations about great actresses. Am I too close to this?
No,
Am I
I do know what you're saying. I don't know who you talk to about it, like the government or like.
Yeah.
Just go door to door.
okay?
Yeah.
I'm here to spread the good word of Charlize with you.
She was in Long Shot, right?
Yes.
Was that her in Long
Yeah.
Shot?
Yep.
That was fucking great.
Underrated, great movie.
Yeah, she's fantastic. She can do it all.
She really can. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what to do about that.
I don't know.
Did
Give
she
her
win?
give her
Did she
more
get-
battle
she got an
axes.
Oscar?
Yeah,
Did she get an Oscar?
Monster.
For Monster?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And she probably got nominated for Young Adult, right?
I don't know if she
yeah,
got
probably.
for she definitely did for Bombshell this past year. I don't know if she did for Young Adult.
And then she's in The Fury Road. God, yeah. What do we do about this?
I don't know. I think we just continue to celebrate her and give her battle axes
Okay.
to
And-
wield against people.
I will say this trailer, the things that were made clear is that there is a group that has existed for centuries. They're immortal. They can still feel pain. And they protect the world. It's unclear what the threat is that they're protecting the world from. And now there is another group that is hunting them and trying to weaponize them for, we assume, evil. I don't
Yeah.
totally know what the stakes are.
The world, I assume.
I guess, but they'll be fine.
I guess there's that really telling moment where the one character from If Beale Street Could Talk is saying, like, hey, are we bad guys or not? And the answer's not very clear.
Yeah, they say it depends on the century.
Yeah.
Yeah. Guess we'll have to watch to find out. right?
Have either of you read the graphic novel?
No.
Nope.
I didn't. Yeah, it was. Now I gotta look it up. It was the least surprising based off a graphic novel.
Right.
In a trailer, I was like, yeah, of course it is.
Yeah.
I don't know why I'm looking this up. What am I going to learn from this?
I don't know. I don't know what your I don't know what your goal is here.
I was Googling the old guard graphic novel, and I was like, wait, I'm just going to see picture. Yeah, no, there's the graphic novel. Yep. She has the battle axe in it. It looks cool.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
I'll never read it, but I'll watch the shit out of this movie.
I'm going to watch this movie.
Yeah. In the comfort of my own home.
Yeah.
Should we talk about Antebellum?
Yes.
I'm pretty excited about this.
Yeah, I'm bummed. We should already be watching Antebellum, right? Because it was supposed to be out by now.
Yeah.
Really?
I think so, but it got pushed, I believe.
I try not to think about the movies we should have already watched.
Right. We should be like hip deep in some New Mutants by now.
Right. No, that's never going to happen.
New Mutants. I remember when they started filming New Mutants when I graduated high school in 2004. And I was like, man, I can't wait.
Yep. Right when Avatar was announced that they're also filming Avatar 2, I mean. So the premise is that people are getting thrown back in time.
Yeah, it looks like the Confederacy has found a way to travel through time and steal slaves from the future.
Oh, no.
Well, steal people and then enslave them.
Right. That's not good.
That's what it looks like.
Yeah. Is this... What studio is this? It's not Blumhouse, right?
No, but it is...
They said it's...
from the producers of Get Out. It's Lionsgate.
It's Lionsgate. Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's got two directors. I now like I should have. I feel like at some point I looked up what they had done before. Oh, a lot of short films and music videos and stuff. Or no, these are just shorts. That's interesting. It's their first film, so this is like, who knows? I don't know. This is pretty exciting though. Like I think I'm more excited about this than Tenet.
Yeah. I mean, it's Janelle Monáe, and I'll co-sign anything that she does forever.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Oh, also, Kiersey Clemons, whom I love, and Jack Houston. I love him, too.
Yeah. Yeah, they're both in this.
These are all good. Yeah, I feel like I have nothing else to say about
this.
It just
looks like
people should check out this trailer. There's like not enough to know what exactly is happening, but they've given us enough information. They're not like teasing anything.
No, it just looks nice and creepy and good.
Yeah. I'm guessing it's not very the trailer kind of makes it seem like it might be a little bit supernatural, and I'm guessing it isn't at all. I'm guessing it's just time travel and like a thriller / horror.
I'm assuming. Because I don't think they'd have time travel technology in the 1860s, so there might be some supernatural element there, just in terms of here's a time rift or something like that.
Oh, that's true. Yeah,
but yeah, I don't think it's like ghosts.
Not time ghosts.
No, not time ghosts. No zeitgeists.
No zeitgeist.
Just waiting for Dan to jump.
This next trailer I'm also pretty excited about, for Choked.
Yeah, this is an Indian film.
Yeah, and I really like the premise, which is that this woman has these shitty neighbors that I believe are just like making drugs or something.
Yeah, they're clearly like drug dealers or criminals.
Right, and like because of the shitty plumbing or something, she's getting their money
it like overflows.
Yeah, and she's using it because damn right she is. They're fucking up the apartment. So I really like that basic premise of like shitty neighbors, and then you're getting their money, and you're like, you know what? Screw you. I'll use your money. And then it sounds like then things.
They devalue the money. Like the government declares that the money's no longer worth anything, and then like the bad guys come to us like, you got to pay us all of that back. I got a little bit of a Simple Plan vibes from it.
Yeah.
but it looks good.
I got a little Breaking Bad vibe as well. I
Yeah,
guess.
yeah.
But I don't know. Something about this specific version of it, I really enjoy. Like A Simple Plan. I remember that movie being really stressful.
It's extremely stressful. Yeah, if you haven't seen it in a while, watch it again.
All right.
Was Simple
It's
Plan
Sam Raimi.
the Billy Bob Thornton,
And Bill Paxton. Yep.
Bill Paxton, Dumb Criminals? Yeah.
Yup.
Hell yeah.
Was that Sam? That was Sam Raimi.
That was Sam
right?
Raimi. Yeah.
Did Billy Bob? Who wrote it?
That I don't know.
I thought Billy Bob has something to do with this. Yeah, it was basically Sam Raimi being like, "I want a Fargo," and so he did a Fargo.
It was Sam Raimi being like, "I'm gonna do Coen Brothers."
Yeah, he was like, "You know what? I gave those guys their start. I'm gonna grab a Fargo."
Let me show those kids how it's done. Oh,
I'll show them how
I
to
can't do it
Fargo.
as well. Never mind.
I'll go back to some horror shit.
Yeah.
Or I guess Spider-Man.
Let me go back to kicking the shit out of Bruce Campbell.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm excited for this. This
Yeah.
looks good.
Yeah, it's coming to Netflix. So.
Is it? Is this another Netflix?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good. All right, the final trailer is Relic.
Yeah.
Which is not the Michael Crichton one.
No, I was going to say, not the Relic.
Oh, that's not a Michael Crichton book, actually, but yeah.
It's not?
No, that is oh shit.
Why do I think Michael Crichton?
Because
I think because
it's
it
very
sounds like
Michael
it should be.
Crichton-esque.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's Douglas Preston and Lincoln Child.
Yeah. This is none of that, though.
Mm-mm.
This is about this. Okay, I'm a little. I bet this is nothing against the movie. The trailer itself felt like they're really trying to be, a Hereditary or a Get Out or all those, because all the pull quotes are like, it's about something else.
Yeah,
It's a horror movie, but it's about something.
Pull
It's like,
quotes that were
okay.
like, a story about dementia that will grip you the whole time. And it's like, just let me figure out.
Just
it's
let
about
me
dementia.
watch the
Come on.
movie. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like they literally say that. They name drop the Babadook and Hereditary in it. They're like, with the subtext of the Babadook and Hereditary. I'm like, that was just kind of the text of those movies, but all right.
Right. Again, I get it. We talked about this coming, where it's like that style of horror was really fresh, and then it's gonna be like everything else with horror, where like we're gonna get real sick of horror movies that like mean something. It's gonna be like found footage.
Yeah.
Or like Japanese horror remakes, where it's just going to be a dime a dozen.
Yeah, I think a lot of horror movies mean something.
Yeah. That's also a good point.
But like, yeah, I don't know. This one, I mean, it has Emily Mortimer in it. It looks creepy. Like it's about like a haunted house with her crazy old mother living in it. It's produced by Jake Gyllenhaal.
Oh shit!
Oh, sign off. Yeah, I'm in.
Yeah.
So clearly.
Wow. Yeah. Okay. That I don't know why, but that's
And
that really sold it for me.
it's an Agbo production, which is the Russo brothers.
Oh no shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. This is all checking out.
Yeah.
Because I'm looking up the director now to see if they did anything. Looks like they've done it's a bunch of short films.
Mm-hmm.
First time. I don't know. Yeah, this it does look good. Like it's not the movie's fault that the trailer is making me angry.
Yeah,
and I'll see every horror movie, so I'll definitely see this.
and I'm all for people like the Russos and Gyllenhaal. People who have like lots of clout and success, giving new filmmakers a shot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really.
So,
Hey, just as
I
a quick sidebar, I did
Mm-hmm.
look up the 1997 The Relic film, and Tom, you're right. It has nothing to do with Michael Crichton, but I simply disagree.
I mean, I get it. It is extremely Michael Crichton. It is something he would write.
Mm-hmm.
That was when did The Shadow come out? Was that? Oh, that was
95.
94.
Or 94,
Relic,
94.
The Relic was 97, first of all, but that was also like the peak of Penelope Ann Miller,
Yeah.
who was killing it. I remember in The Shadow as well. She she's still doing stuff. I just looked her up. So she's still doing good. But that was like it. The Relic, man. Did we watch that, Tom?
Yeah, we have.
Okay. Was it good?
You mean on a movie night?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. We've watched it.
Was it any good?
Oh, no.
You guys had
okay.
You guys had a Shadow rewatch recently, right?
Within the past year or so, yeah.
I have Shadow rewatches on a regular basis.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to rewatch that movie again at some point, and I would like to turn it into a podcast so it's not a complete waste of my time. I need to justify that.
Sure.
Are you saying, would you like to watch The Shadow and talk about it at some point? Is that what I'm hearing? Because
we can book that deal right now.
Yeah, we can get a Shadow cast.
Get a Shadow cast.
Yes, please.
Okay,
all right.
We'll do a 4-part series.
I want to talk
Shadow.
about Billy Zane as a superhero in the daylight riding a horse. I want to talk about it.
Oh, my friend, you were talking about
that's
Phantom.
the Phantom.
That was the Phantom. Fuck, never mind. Fuck me. No.
You've already committed to The Shadow.
Oh, no,
Alec
now I have to watch
Baldwin's
the Alec Baldwin Shadow movie.
You committed to the Shadow cast. I mean, we can talk about the Phantom. We did a Best Bad movie with Randall about it, but I'm happy to revisit the Phantom.
No, it's too late.
Yeah, I can never
too
stop.
late. We're doing the Shadow cast with Alec Baldwin and Penelope Ann Miller. God damn it.
Hell yeah.
Oh, I'm very excited about this.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it's going to be great.
Yeah.
Fucking Peter Boyle as a cab driver.
Ah,
Fuck
shit.
right up The Shadow.
Can't believe I have to rewatch The Shadow now.
It's a really good looking movie.
It's a real piece of shit that looks great.
They had to reshoot the ending because of the Northridge earthquake, I believe. So that's a shame. Maybe it would have been amazing if it weren't for that earthquake.
No, there were other problems before that
Okay.
ending. There's a lot of problems with that film.
I can't tell you how deflated I feel right now. And not only do I have to do a full Shadow podcast, 4-part series, but we're like halfway through this podcast. I gotta rally.
Yeah.
I gotta rally. Let's go. What's
All
after
right,
Michael
all right. Let's do
Crichton's
it.
Relic?
Let's do it.
Okay. Let's get on to news stories. But first, we have a few more producers to mention.
Yeah.
Producers such as Davey Francis.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, DF. Also, Chancy Pants.
Woo.
Space McNulty. It's a
Woohoo.
good one.
Probably my favorite
Also,
name.
yeah, it's fantastic. Captain Fat Strong. That's
Nice.
That also makes me giggle. Hiram.
Yeah.
Thank you, Hiram. Oh, great. It's that guy.
Thank you to him.
Good,
Yeah.
good
I'll grab the
sell
last
on that name, Dave.
Thank you.
You really made us feel it. Yeah.
Yeah,
All right. I'll grab the last couple of producers in this part. Thank you to Leth. Thank you to Bob Grenville. Thank you to Nolan Matten. Thank you to Joshua Back from the Graves. And thank you to Andrew McGuire.
Thank you, guys.
Woo!
You're lovely. All right. So we got one main one here that we have no choice, but this is a big news week.
It is. Let me. I mean, this. I work at an entertainment news website, so I've been mired in this fucking story for the past 48 hours.
Yeah. So HBO Max is going to release the Snyder Cut.
Yep.
Thoughts?
Well, I want to couch everything I say with this one thought, is that I work for HBO. And
Okay.
So across the board, I love everything that they do. And I think it's all great. And I think it's very good.
Honestly,
and I think HBO Max, I think it's, like, personally, I think it's cool that if you download HBO Max right now, you have to download the app HBO Now so you can get HBO Max when it eventually comes out, May 27th. And
Yeah.
if you want HBO Go, it's a different thing. And if you subscribe to HBO, it's a different thing. Me, personally, I think this is a very good idea. That there are
It's a good
3
system.
different services with HBO in the branding right now. I think it's it's the best thing to do in these trying times to just diversify your main hub.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
You know what?
Split it up,
Actually,
split it
really,
up.
I totally agree with you 100%. And what I really think is really exciting about this strategy is that there's no discernible difference between the three platforms.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's just an incredible play to not be able to clearly define what each one does and what each one is for.
But I think at the end of the day, an argument could be made that some of them cost more than the others.
That's true. That's true. In terms of this, like, honestly, I have no anger towards this Snyder thing.
No.
Why not?
I do have a slight anger, and it has nothing to do with HBO. Like, we all had some fun just now. I love my parent company very much.
Sure.
My anger is that for anyone who hasn't been mired in this conflict for the last couple of years, is that Zack Snyder worked on the Justice League movie and then famously left because of tragic family issues, and then Joss Whedon came on board to do some script doctoring and some reshoots and released this version of the Justice League that we all know from movies and video on demand and DVDs, the Justice League that exists in the world. Superfans believed that there was a secret Snyder Cut that had none of the Joss Whedon stuff, that was the original director's true vision, and these superfans believed this one would be good, because the Justice League that came out was panned, and the Snyder one was great. They're huge fans of it, even though no one has seen a lick of it. They truly believe this is the one that was the one true amazing version of this movie, and hashtag release the Snyder Cut had been trending at different times for years.
Since 2017,
it kept coming up that people wanted this version of the movie that they insisted existed, even though we'd never seen any proof of it. And now HBO Max is going to release what it only makes sense to shorthand as the Snyder Cut, but it's crucial to point out that this isn't an existing cut that has been sitting in a vault somewhere that is being released. This is just HBO Max giving Zack Snyder room to recut this movie now for the first time in mini-series form in whatever way he wants to do that. And so we all know, the three of us on this podcast right now, know that this is a brand new thing that hasn't existed before. And that's fine. I have no objection to that happening. But the goblins on the internet are going to think, we won. We were right. We thought that there was a better version of this thing that was sitting in a vault, and now it's finally being released. And it's like, no, there was never... This version that you're talking about never existed, ever. And it's not being released right now. A new thing is being created. And I just... Like the pettiest part of me is upset that this feels like a win for strange, angry DC goblins.
Right. Because they've been on tilt for a while, because I think there's that feeling of like, I think they're very frustrated because it just wasn't very good. And like a lot of
it's a movie that I routinely forget exists.
Yeah, and a lot of that stuff with DC, like they sort of dropped the ball. And it is what it is. And like if you're a Zack Snyder fan, or if you're a Justice League fan, or just a fan of these movies, it's like that's fine. But I do think there's this like we'll show them kind of attitude, and it's like no, I don't. Here's the other thing. I've seen filmmakers on Twitter kind of say like, does anybody want like a 3-hour cut of my other film? Because I have that, and it's the realization of like there's kind of always a 3-hour, 4-hour cut of a movie out there, because they cut a lot out and they film a lot. So it's like, yeah, like he can probably get this out of it, but it will be probably not a revelation. It won't change
it'll be a slightly different version of the movie that most people don't really like.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to change any minds.
I say these things as someone who kind of liked Justice League. I mean, the villain whose
Steppenwolf.
Is it Steppenwolf? God.
It is Steppenwolf,
if you put a gun to my head and you were like, what's the name of the villain from Justice League? I'd be like, well, I had a good run. Pull the trigger.
Can I call my folks first and say goodbye?
I know the actor who played it. I can't pronounce his name. Ciarán Hinds?
You got it.
Yeah. I know that he was the one who played it. I didn't love him as a villain, but I enjoyed that movie. I thought it gave us this version of The Flash, which is so fun. I really enjoyed it a whole lot. I like this version of Aquaman. Gal Gadot's Wonder Woman has always been good. There are a couple of enjoyable parts. I think they're probably the Joss Whedon parts. And just a couple of like truly entertaining, big, stupid blockbuster set pieces that I enjoyed. And I liked the Aquaman movie.
Fucking love
that was
the
fantastic.
Aquaman movie.
Fun adventure. Like, I'm not like
Shazam was also good.
Shazam ruled. I'm not like a DC hater or anything like that.
No.
I just don't think the solution to Justice League coming out and getting lackluster reviews is that there's a better version of the movie hiding somewhere.
Yeah, this kind of reminds me of when there was that brief moment where people were like, "No, Rise of Skywalker wasn't bad. There's a J.J. Abrams release the J.J. cut," and everybody had to be like, "No, you don't understand. I think he was the problem."
Yeah, this is the J.J.
Yeah, and Zack Snyder.
Who in the world, after watching a 3-hour and 12-minute Star Wars movie, is like, release the director's cut?
Yeah.
God damn, was it really that long? Fuck me.
I don't think it was 3 hours and 12. I was just speaking quickly for comedic effect, but it was definitely over 3 hours, right? Let me look.
I don't know. It was long.
But Zack Snyder, I think, I really enjoyed.
2 hours, 22 minutes.
Okay.
Really? It just felt like
way
longer.
Almighty.
I really enjoyed Dawn of the Dead when it came out.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought this guy's going to do a lot of great things. And then 300 came out, and I was like, this is really creative too. And then Watchmen came out, and I was like, this is really cool. And then, then Owls of Ga'Hoole, and I was like, this is amazing. Everybody loves Owls of Ga'Hoole.
Have you seen Owls of Ga'Hoole? Quick aside.
No. I have not.
It's okay. The thing that sticks out in my mind about Owls of Ga'Hoole is that it is shockingly violent for a cartoon
that doesn't surprise me. That does not surprise me. But then, like, CGI got huge. This was like the 2010s, and I think he just got kind of excessive in the way he made movies after that. I'm being very nice.
I know, it's just funny
here.
to describe Zack Snyder as being kind of excessive.
He's he's a guy who I think would benefit greatly from a limited budget.
I think
not as like a punishment,
his
but
early
like
work, like 300, he was known for his subtlety and nuance, but then CGI got huge.
But he's making Army of the Dead, a zombie movie, and honestly,
for Netflix.
I might like that. Like last time he did a goddamn zombie movie, it was fantastic, and this one has Dave Bautista in it, and it's like, I'm not against that.
Just, I guess, I don't know, because we could talk about the freaking Snyder Cut forever. I think the last bit of information we haven't mentioned that really adds to what Dan and Dave are saying is that not only does the Snyder Cut not currently exist, like this movie is scheduled for release sometime in 2021. They're giving him about $20 to $30 million to finish the movie. So he still has to do a ton of post-production because all he ever did was like a 4-hour assembly cut, I believe, before he left the project. So he's only ever done an assembly cut. So yeah, there's like a substantial amount of money and time and work that still has to be put into this movie to actually make a Snyder Cut exist.
I will do one bit of defense as well. Is that the awful reason he had to leave the project?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, it's not like they were like, Zach, this is terrible. You have to go. The fact that he just, I get it. Like, I get it. Like, I don't think this movie is very good, but I get the frustration there. But yeah.
Yeah.
I'm never going to watch this. Did you guys ever watch the 5-hour work print of Apocalypse Now?
No.
No.
Don't do that.
I mean,
that's all I have to say.
We watched
about that.
we watched David Fincher's assembly cut of Alien 3. You remember that?
Oh yeah, I like that version.
It was okay.
Yeah. Jamie Lee Curtis is directing a horror movie about climate change for Blumhouse.
Sure, fuck me up.
Right? That's
Yeah.
Mad Lib, where every single blank is thing Daniel likes.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm all for this.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, that's it.
Yeah. No, yeah.
We don't know anything else. So.
I don't care. That's the only information I need.
Have you guys talked about the strangest that the first person to break the tragic passing of Fred Willard was Jamie Lee Curtis? There was a period on Twitter for a while where no one knew if Fred Willard was actually dead because the only news source was Jamie Lee Curtis in like an offhanded tweet. I was like, well, miss you, Fred Willard. You were great.
Well,
like TMZ wasn't reporting it yet. No one was reporting it.
Oh,
the reason why she broke it made me even more confused, which is that apparently she's married to Christopher Guest.
Yes. Oh, that's right. I knew that. That makes sense.
I didn't. That was like, it was like, oh no, Fred Willard's dead. And then like I had to learn all this new stuff.
She's been married to Christopher Guest for decades, Dave.
Yeah, I didn't know that. That's crazy.
I did know that, but it slipped my mind. I just see people retweeting Jamie Lee Curtis about Fred Willard, and I'm like, surely there's a second source here somewhere.
Right.
Anyway, tangent.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's the connection. Is Christopher Guest.
We shouldn't spend too much time on this, but apparently Capone is doing really good on VOD.
Sure.
It's made a record amount of money for Vertical Entertainment.
Long time,
which makes sense.
Long time. You watched it, right?
Oh, we both did. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Is it good?
It's fascinating, but it's not good.
I love Tom Hardy so much.
He's man, yeah. I think it's. I wouldn't recommend it to anyone who wasn't already interested in watching it for the stated reasons of Tom Hardy. This looks crazy. I want to see what Josh Trank does with this.
Here's another thing that you should know about me as a entertainment consumer. I don't like movies about dreams or hallucinations where you can't tell what's real or not.
I would argue that you can always tell what's real or not, and it makes it even more irritating.
Okay.
Because
I mean, it'll
don't
be
want to spoil it.
It'll be. I think you might get a lot out of it just watching fucking Tom Hardy's batshit performance.
He's doing a great job.
Yeah, and then watching poor Linda Cardellini try to pretend to be his wife in this situation. Oh man.
Yeah, I don't want to say watch Capone to anybody because then it's on me. Then they come, but
I don't know if you guys have any insight on this. What does it mean that its release made a record amount of money for Vertical Entertainment? So like Vertical Entertainment doesn't mean anything to me. So I don't know what the scale of a record amount of money means for this company, Vertical Entertainment.
It meant about $2 million, which is good, I think, for VOD, but a $2.5 million actually.
For a small distributor like that.
Okay.
Yeah, and like good for them. Like I'm rooting for Josh Trank, but I did not like the movie. But like I think it's a part of its the pandemic and people are inside, so I think we're gonna break a lot of VOD records in the next year. I think.
Why are you rooting for him?
I don't know. I something about his attitude, like he's just like. I don't mind someone who's just like the studio system. This is all bullshit. Like he's never made a movie I really liked, so I honestly can't know. He's got a real underdog vibe to him. Like going into Capone, I kind of wanted it to be really good. I wanted him to show everybody.
Yeah, I suppose it's the difference between like Fiona Apple says this is all bullshit, and then makes amazing albums over and over and over again. Josh
Right.
Trank says this is all bullshit and makes Chronicle, which had some good ideas, but ultimately I didn't think was great, and
Yeah.
a terrible Fantastic Four movie, and now this Capone movie. Right? Like,
and yeah.
you can root for underdogs, but they also need to ideally deliver at some point.
Right.
Right. He's not wrong, but he's also like wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Someone who I also think is an underdog, perfectly segueing into the next story.
You nailed it.
David Robert Mitchell is the director of It Follows and Under the Silver Lake, two movies that I think are very good. He is directing, his next movie is about superheroes. I don't think it's a superhero movie.
It is, judging by the little details that this Hollywood Reporter link gives, no, it's not a superhero movie.
No. And it makes me very excited.
Yeah.
Because I think,
yeah.
I was just going to say, I think that's a genre that I would like to see him tackle in this, the way he's going to do it.
Right. No, I really like this director. I am into this.
Yeah.
Dan, did you see Under the Silver Lake?
I didn't. I also didn't see It Follows. Forgive me.
Oh.
Oh, wow. Okay.
He is, It Follows, I think, was my favorite horror movie of the last, I don't know, decade. Without actually looking it up. I really enjoyed that movie and just how simple it was. It's one of those movies where you're like, why didn't I freaking think of that? Like, that works. It's just, it's so, for an indie film too, it's a very smart movie. It's very well shot. Under the Silver Lake got terrible, or no, not terrible, but mixed reviews. And watching it, you can kind of tell why, because it's a very weird movie. It's not a horror movie. It's about breaking into Hollywood. And
Sort
being
of,
kind of on the outside looking in.
Yeah. It's like a weird take on Hollywood noir, and there's a little bit of horror in it, but it's also really funny in a lot of parts. I've really liked it, but it's a fucking strange movie, though. I'll put that out there.
Yeah. It's like long.
Yeah, it's about as long as The Rise of Skywalker.
Okay.
Right.
And we don't know what his take on superheroes is going to be, though.
No, other than just like there's sort of like vaguely like it's a deconstruction, which could that's okay.
I hope.
Did you guys see Freaks?
Not yet.
I didn't.
That's with what's his name?
Emil Hirsch.
Emil Hirsch.
Emil
Yeah.
Hirsch.
Emil Hirsch
yeah.
in like full Jack Black mode, by the way.
Whoa.
Watch the movie and then tell me he doesn't look exactly like Jack Black.
Okay, I'm gonna have to. Yeah, I that's on like my watch list because that also had Bruce Dern in it,
It's
right?
Bruce Dern and like doing like perfect, crazy, creepy old coot.
Yeah.
And Grace Park and Amanda Crew from Silicon Valley. It's very good.
Sure.
It's really interesting and like a fun twist on superhero stuff or like superpowered people stuff.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'll check that out.
It's on Netflix right now.
Yes.
Oh. Nice.
I would say let's all watch it together, but I'm committed to this fucking Shadow podcast that I got to do.
Yeah, we Shadow podcast first, one at a time.
Yeah, then we can do Freakcast.
Yeah. I should note that in Under the Silver Lake, Andrew Garfield was in that. I hope he's in the superhero movie too.
Oh, that would be cool. Yeah, that would be a fun idea.
You want to get Spider-Man in there. So the final story is that John Krasinski is selling his very original Some Good News YouTube series for like a lot of money. There was a bidding war. People have pointed out some people are saying that perhaps one of our friends has also done videos before him that was called Some Good News. But what do you guys think of this? I have nothing against John Krasinski. I think I'm a little irritated by this.
Yeah, I would like to yield my time to you.
Okay, not because of some more news. I mean, that's one thing, but also that he admittedly, if you've watched these, because I watched him, he admits like, yeah, I just took these off of other good news sites, and like you can find, like he admits in the videos, like nothing's original about this. I'm just, there's people doing good news videos all the time. This is just a thing. There's these websites. And then he sold this and he's not going to be the host of it. So he sold the concept that he admitted wasn't anything close to original for millions of dollars.
This is...
And that really disappoints me.
Yeah, it's a real emblematic about what the fuck is wrong with the entertainment industry.
Yeah. He sold the concept of somebody saying good news in a news style. And it's like, good God, man.
Yeah.
How?
Yeah, I mean, two things can be true. I watch every episode of this show, and I tear up, I think, every episode, because they're very effective at tugging at the heartstrings, and they're undeniably doing good in the world by all the donations that they're making to charity and just like all the joy that they're spreading around the planet. That's one thing that's definitely true. Another thing that is also true is famous person sitting in front of a camera doing basically America's wholesomest home videos with his famous friends and then selling it for millions of dollars. And that feels a little bit crass to me.
Yeah, it's extremely cynical.
It's the most cynical conclusion for this. It reminded me of, wasn't there like a teenager who did a COVID like website and could have made millions because of advertisers were like, can we go on your site? And they were like, no. Like they refused the money. I've read this a little bit. I'm probably not doing the story justice.
Yeah.
But it's like that versus this, like Some Good News. The point of it felt like it was like, oh, I'm a celebrity giving back during these troubled times. And then it's like, no, you were just auditioning like to sell this show apparently. And it feels kind of like a betrayal because I agree with you, Dan, watching it. It's like, it is a fun show.
Yeah.
He's honest about the fact that it's not particularly original or it's sourced from just things he found on the internet. Mm-hmm. So it felt very honest, and then this happens, and it's like, oh, that's really gross.
There's also, this is a small, and I might be too close to this kind of thing because the show that I worked for last week tonight with John Oliver, now available on HBO Max. I think, I'm not really sure.
Yeah, it's a good show. It's a very good show.
We are very careful. We're not a news show. We will never say that. We're a comedy show that talks about politics a lot, and we have a great, tremendous, amazing research team that vets a lot of what we're talking about, but we're not a news show. We're not doing the news. There are a lot of legal reasons that we say that, and there are also a lot of, like, preservation of journalistic integrity reasons that we say that. So I'm looking at a quote from this Hollywood Reporter article about Some Good News, where they say, from the first episode, our goal was to create a news show dedicated entirely to good news. That's not a news show. It's just not. Like, it's fine if you're not making a news show. It's totally okay, but, like, you, like, replace good with any other descriptor. Our goal was to create a news show dedicated entirely to Christian news, to socialist news, to I don't know.
Batman
news.
Yeah.
Like, there we go.
I don't know. You like it's. I think the show is good. I enjoy the show. I like what it's doing. I think that the news element of it bumps me in a very strange way because I've been in this industry for a couple of years now. I don't know.
I think it's part of it is when they said we set out to do this show, who's the we? Is it like him and his wife? Is it and also who's his wife? I know she's
Emily Blunt.
Emily Blunt. Yeah, I was going to say I know she's someone that I like more than
David.
him.
It's Jamie Lee Curtis.
Christopher Guest.
Oh, they're all living together.
Yeah.
But there's a reason producers exist and lawyers exist. Like, I think this was just like, I'm just wondering who did this show, and it started as like, hey, I'm going to do a thing on YouTube. And like, maybe it's not as like thrown together as he makes it out to be, you know? But it feels like it feels like they're going to get in trouble for this somehow, like for the reasons you're pointing out, which is that them calling themselves a news show, them just kind of taken this concept and running with it. It feels kind of reckless as well. I don't know.
Yeah. For the record, I don't think they're going to do any real damage. I don't think anyone's going to be like, I get my news from some good news, and that's why I'm voting this way. I don't actually think that's going to happen. This is just like a very minor, small gripe that I have in the naming of the show, which is
right.
It feels larger because of all the other gripes that I have with the show.
Yeah, I having just researched Quibi a lot. There's something that rubs me the wrong way about like rich people kind of recklessly diving into these things. I don't know. Yeah, you're right that it's not harmful, but it's just like for me. It's like a sign of a larger problem, which is like little regard for what they're actually doing and being like just very confident and just blasting forward in things that like YouTube. Like that industry, content creators on the internet and stuff, it's just like it always rubs me the wrong way.
Right. If CBS is going to throw millions of dollars at John Krasinski after 8 episodes of a YouTube show that was born 2 months ago, what message is that sending to the people who are toiling away at YouTube, slowly getting an audience one person at a time? What message does that send to them? Yeah,
it's very discouraging. It's disheartening.
Well, the message is you should have been famous first. Why didn't you do that?
Yeah, I was going to say, also, it feels like they were buying John Krasinski, and then they're like, we're getting a new host, and it's like, man, I think that was the reason people were watching that.
No. Dave, I disagree. There are going to be so many people who are like, oh, who's the EP on this? John? Okay, I'm in. I'm signed on for the EP. Like I make all of my decisions on viewing.
Everybody loves an EP. Yeah. All right. That's it. That's all I have.
Enough. Yeah,
for
that's plenty.
Okay. We got more producers.
We
though.
do.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah. We got producers up the ass.
I want to start.
It's great.
I want to start. Can I start?
Oh, yeah. You should start. Yeah, you should start.
Aussie. We also want to. We want to thank Tom quotes. Quasi dangerous levels of hype. K. We want to thank AJ. We want to thank Sweet Meat and Tip Drizzle.
Tip Drizzle.
That name made me uncomfortable, so I'm going to stop now.
Mission accomplished, Tip Drizzle. Also, thank you to Frankly Amish.
Yeah.
Thank you, Frank. Mrs. Voidus. Thank you to the Void. The Ghost of Dave Thomas. Thank you.
Still terrorizing us from beyond the grave.
Aaron Burser.
He gets a special shout out. He's been around for a while, right?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Aaron
Yeah.
MVP.
I was playing board games with you guys, and he was in the chat box.
Oh yeah,
he for
he's
sure
been
was,
with us. Yeah. Tom, it's you.
All right.
You do it.
I'll get the
Take
last
us home.
couple. David Knife Boot Hinson, MBA CPA. Thank you. Thank you to Christopher Robert Sparts Esquire. Topher Bobby. Gonna bail us out of jail when we inevitably get arrested.
Oh yeah.
Mackenzie, Righteous Handed Lizard People Chill. Thank you so much. Thank you to Funky J. And last but not least, thank you to Pie Guy. Darren Aronofsky's been with us since the beginning.
Yeah, he has.
Real super fan.
Yeah, super fan, Darren Aronofsky.
Oh, man, Dave.
Yes.
David.
Yes.
David.
What?
Do you
Tom,
have...
I'm a busy man.
Well,
right?
You're going to sit down and you're going to listen to me. You're going to schedule some time for this.
Okay.
Do you have a movie that deserves more hype?
You know I do.
Oh, man. What luck.
Yeah, before I get to it, I just have to, because this isn't a new movie, I texted you about this, Tom, and I have to give a shout out to the AMC series, The Little Drummer Girl, which I've been watching. It's a 6-part miniseries. It was made in 2018, so I'm very late to it. But it is directed by Chan-wook Park, who did, for people who don't recognize that name, he did Old Boy, he did Stoker, he did Thirst, he did the sympathy for Mr. Vengeance and Mrs. Vengeance, or sorry, Lady Vengeance. He's a very good director, and he did this miniseries with freaking Michael Shannon and Alexander Skarsgård and oh shit, Florence, what's Pug? Pooh?
Pew.
Who's fantastic in it. And I just have to give it a shout out because I started watching this and it's really, really good. But I also want to talk to you guys about a movie that's coming out today when this episode comes out.
Oh.
Yeah. It has a 94% on Rotten Tomatoes and it's called Lucky Grandma. And it is about an old lady in, I believe, in Chinatown in New York who gets involved with the mob. She takes all her savings to a casino and she bets it all, and she gets into this like weird story about gangsters. She hires her own bodyguard, and she's just this very, very cranky old lady just sort of dicking around the crime world. What did you guys think of this trailer?
I thought it looked delightful.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, it's just an overall very delightful, fun movie that I was hearing about this a little bit before, but not enough people are talking about the Lucky Grandma. I think it's going to be a very fun movie.
Yeah.
I've never heard of... It's a first-time director. This actress who plays the grandma, Grandma Wong, she's been around for a while, but I never really saw her in much. But she looks like she's killing it in this.
Yeah, she has like the perfect facial expression throughout the entire trailer.
Yeah.
She's killing it.
It's just an 80-year-old woman just fucking... Just being a real badass. Just tooling her way through crimes. So I don't know. That's really it. That's all I have to say about it. Like, the trailer kind of speaks for itself. People should check out the trailer.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. It looks great.
Yeah, and you can like right now while you're listening to this, you can shut this off and you can switch over to your streaming whatever and get some Lucky Grandma on you.
Yeah, one of your 18 different HBO services that'll likely be playing on it.
Yeah, switch over to HBO Charge for all your favorite movies, I think, and maybe podcasts. Mm-hmm. It's unclear what we're getting into.
Oh man, I think that's a sode. I think we did it.
Oh yeah?
Oh yeah, I think we're done.
We did a sode.
It's just David who does things that deserve more hype?
Yeah.
All right.
Why? Wait, Daniel, do you have an entry for this?
I mean, I don't know if you guys are watching the FX version of What We Do in the Shadows.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's so
I need
good.
to get on
It's
that.
incredible.
It's so fucking good. They're in their second season right now, and the first season, the movie was great. They did a movie, Taika Waititi did a movie with Jermaine Clement and a few others years ago, and then they adapted it last year into an FX series, and now we're in season 2, and it's just been so great and so fun and so joyful as a comedy writer who sometimes feels like sitcoms. This is going to feel like a drag on sitcoms and also a drag on What We Do in the Shadows, and I don't mean either. But sometimes feeling like sitcoms need to matter or need to mean something. And What We Do in the Shadows is a great reprieve from that because it just doesn't.
Right, it's just silly.
It's just silly fun, and it's so good. And the second season is incredible. And I can't recommend it highly enough. Like, and that said, like, I still all the caveats, I still appreciate the sitcoms that do matter and mean something, and they're trying to say something about making the world a better place, all the stuff that I'm supposed to say. But it's nice that the spirit of like airplane style comedy is still alive and well somewhere, and right now it's in What We Do in the Shadows.
That is great to hear, because I think whenever you see the, like, we're making a TV version of this movie, I always get a little nervous, and it's really nice to hear that one, like that it's that good. So I'm gonna have to check it out.
It really feels like
great.
I want to be a fly on the wall in that writer's room, because it really feels like a bunch of funny people getting together and legitimately asking themselves, what's a funny thing we can do right now? Like, what's the silliest possible thing we could do? And just chasing that lead down to its inevitable conclusion, and it's just fun and joyful.
That's wonderful.
Also, We Summon the Darkness was fun.
Oh, I didn't watch
Is that a show?
It's a movie.
It's a movie, yeah.
It's a movie?
I think it's on Netflix now. Alexandra Daddario stars. It's a horror thriller with Johnny Knoxville.
Oh shit! I remember this.
We talked about it on a Hypecast, Dave.
Yeah, I know. I pointed out that Come to Daddy is out, and people should watch that as well. I have yet to watch this, but Extraordinary, which was one we talked about, is it's a comedy horror that's out right now, and I'm hearing good things about it, so I'm going to check that out. God, there's so much to watch.
There's a lot. It's just forever content.
Mm-hmm. So much hype.
Oh, man. So much hype.
So little time.
And you can watch it all this June on HBO Gulp.
HBO Flex. HBO Smooch.
Ooh. Smooch. I like Smooch. Every episode they call it a little smooch.
Yeah, get a little smooch.
Yeah.
Okay. I think that's a sode.
Okay.
All right.
That's fair.
Yeah, we did it. Daniel, thank you so much for being on the show today.
Oh, thanks so much for having me.
Thanks.
I love talking to you guys.
Yeah, absolutely.
And, let's figure out when we're going to do this.
Shadowcast?
Yep.
Shadowcast!
Shadowcast!
So excited.
Who's the... Oh, so... It's Alec Baldwin, and like sometimes he has a weird nose and he's the shadow. And
yes.
Is the bad guy from Big Trouble Little China?
No.
Okay, well then cut out that I said that.
No, it's staying in, baby. It all stays in.
Ian McKellen's in it.
He sure is.
And Tim Curry's in it.
Mm-hmm.
And you were right. It's James Hong. It's the bad guy from Big Trouble in Little China.
Okay, fuck you, Tom.
Well, he's not the bad guy.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Wait, he's not the bad guy in Big Trouble in Little China?
Well, no, James Hong is the bad
again.
guy in Big Trouble in Little China. He's not the bad guy in The Shadow.
Okay.
The bad guy in The Shadow is a much younger man.
All right. I mean, who can say? Yeah, it's an all-star cast, though.
Yeah, it really is. They really stacked that deck.
Yeah. It's, I'm going to, sorry, I have to look up it's the director of Highlander.
Yeah.
And Resident Evil Extinction. Yep. So yeah, this is a great film.
Yeah.
I can't wait to talk about
they
The
really
Shadow.
set out to conquer the summer of 1994.
Yeah, okay.
Mm-hmm.
And so we've committed to 4 episodes for this?
Yeah, 4 episodes.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
They can be 10-minute episodes, but
no, I mean,
and then we can put them into
they're
one
going to
big...
be as long as they need to be.
That's true. Yeah.
All right, that's good. Daniel, you should tell us where we can find you, or plug something of your choice.
Foodbanknyc.org. Donate there. You can find me on the internet if you want, but it doesn't matter. It does nothing for anyone if you find me on the internet. But if you donate to foodbanknyc.org, you can provide meals to people who are struggling right now in New York, the hot spot in America during this COVID-19 crisis. And I would really appreciate if you did. If you can't, I understand that too. That's totally fine.
Yes. I'm going to plug quick question. It's I've been enjoying it. It's a good one when you're stuck inside. It's stress-free. It's just fun. So people should check that out.
Well, thank you. That's very kind.
Yeah. Do that.
I'm also going to plug our Patreon.
Yeah, do that.
Patreon.com/gamefullyunemployed. Yeah. You can find exclusive podcasts there, like Tom and Jeff Watch Batman and Fox Mulder is a Maniac. Check it out.
Yeah, and that's it. I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna foist a store plug on you guys after Daniel said go to the food bank. Jesus Christ!
Do it.
Nope.
I will mention that I think there's a sale going. I think we might have a sale.
Do we?
I don't know. They emailed me. They bug me all the time. And so there might be a sale.
Okay.
There. I did it. I did the thing they asked.
There might be a sale on the store that may exist. Mm-hmm. All right.
There's no telling.
Yeah.
There's no telling.
Let's get out of here. Say goodbye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Our music is produced by Chris Corlew. You can follow him on Twitter at @thecorlew, Corlew, and find more music at shipwreckedsailor.bandcamp.com. Our artwork is produced by Justin Brown. You can follow him on Twitter at @JustinTBrown, and find more of his artwork at artnessbyjustinbrown.com and justinbrown.info.